Hey, hello, and welcome to this Coffee and Cloud series live event. Today's topic is scheduling actions in Gemini. We're going to take a little bit of a look at Google Gemini and some of the added value it provides and some of the cool things you can do. And I'm joined today by Bill Seybolt, our Senior Cloud Advisor. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day and week to join us here today. And start off with just a reminder that, this session, whether you're watching it live or viewing it later on demand, is part of a broader set of resources we've got. In fact, if you look on your screen over on the right-hand side in the Docs little tab, you can see a link to our AI landing zone. That's a collection of pretty much everything we're doing around AI as far as content, blog posts, other videos, white papers, ebooks, guides, etc. And hopefully that's a helpful resource for you to take a look. For our session today, the audio is muted to prevent any background noise and issues from getting in the way. And there is that quick Q&A window on the right-hand side as well. Use that. That's what we'll monitor for any questions that come up during the session. A reminder that this is being recorded, as I alluded to. It generally can take us up to 24 hours to get it up and posted. We'll send you a link so you can review it or share it with the future. We'll also send you a follow-up email with some link to the AI landing zone and some other resources as well. And so since these are designed to be short and sweet, we'll dive right in. Why are we talking about scheduling actions? It's a great way to leverage the Gemini app that comes with Google Workspace and your licensing there. It's a useful tool for automating repetitive tasks such as summary work, analysis work, notifications you want to receive on a regular basis. And it's important to note, however, that this is not an AI agent. You're not necessarily going to build it into workflows, although you could call and trigger it that way. It's a little more complex than a typical agent. It's really designed to have something done that runs at a defined date and time for you. It notifies you when the results are ready. So it's not something that would be triggered by other events other than date and time. And so to give a sense of how easy or difficult or challenging or fun it might be to schedule actions in Gemini, I'm going to hand it over to Bill. Bill, take it away.
Thanks, Alan. Let's see here. If you, as you stop sharing your screen, I can pop in and share my screen. And what I'm going to do is simply go to gemini.google.com. This is kind of where all the magic takes place, if you will. And as Alan pointed out, there's some great ways to leverage scheduled actions that are within this application, within just the Gemini app proper. And one of the great things about this is it's leveraging all of the tools within your Google Workspace suite. So, for example, if I wanted to have a summary of email a summary of calendar events that are coming up for my day, I could put together a prompt that would somewhat reflect that. And then if I wanted to get even a little bit more fancy with that, I could not only use my calendar, but I could also look into my email and see, for example, if there's someone that's in my context that's kind of new, that I should know a little bit more about that interaction that I had with them. And so with this prompt, I'm using a little bit of my calendar as well as my inbox to put together a scheduled action. And once I enter that information in and I click submit, Gemini will think a little bit together, and then all of a sudden it will then let me know that beginning on Monday, May 4th, that it will begin to put together a daily summary of my calendar events for every weekday beginning at 8 a.m. And if I needed to modify that or to look into that a little bit further, I can come down here to the settings icon. And if I click that, and if I simply select scheduled actions, it doesn't show up there for some reason. That's always really great when it comes to a fun demo. But what I can do is show another one of these that will show something similar to that. For example, let's say I wanted to keep track of unread email that I for a key person or for a project I was working on. I could prompt Gemini to put together a summary of that key information. So, for example, I could say, in this case, every day at 5 p.m., find all unread email from Alan. And then I could say, could you summarize that into a bulleted list and save that summary as a new doc in a folder called Daily Review within Google Drive? Again, we're leveraging a couple of different applications within the Google Workspace suite, using both Mail as well as Google Drive and Google Docs. So if I click on my Submit button here, again, Gemini will think for just a second. And here's what it really looks like when you know that you've got a scheduled action in place. It will throw in a little bit of the prompt here, and it has an on and off switch. And if I come down to my settings and help, and then select scheduled actions, I can see that that email summary from Alan is now appearing there within the scheduled actions manager. As you can note, also there are some nice little actions that are already kind of in place that are kind of templated, kind of to get you started. But one of the good ways to try this out is to simply go to Gemini and put together some prompts on your own that you would like to try to work into your scheduled actions. And Gemini is really good about helping you kind of find those key prompts that then will then translate into a scheduled action. Alan?
Had to get myself off mute there. So that's really helpful. And actually, it's funny, I've been using scheduled actions for a while and never realized under the settings bar you can go and see them. There's another thing to realize about scheduled actions is you're going to be getting alerts. If you don't ever respond to those alerts, Gemini will believe that the action has become inactive and that you're not actually using it anymore, and it'll turn it off and you'll stop getting those alerts. And so generally, if, for example, I had a check on my inbox on a daily basis at 2 p.m. for certain things, and I actually didn't check it for about 2 weeks and it turned off because it's like, oh, it's, you're not using it. It's a waste of resources, a waste of time. We'll cancel it out for you. And so you can manually turn it back on. You can also, if you're going to go on vacation, pause things that you don't want to happen, for example, when you're going to be out of the office. And so it's a great little tool. And I'm glad we sort of got this quick hit in to show everyone a really quick, neat little feature. I personally have 4 or 5 of these set up now to track work and make sure nothing falls through the cracks. And it's been a big help. So I want to thank you, Bill, for coming and joining us here today. So what to do if you want to learn more? Well, the first thing is contact us, right? You can contact Bill or I. Our email addresses are up there on the screen, or you can use the bit.ly code or send an email to info@ and just schedule a call with any Bill or Wes, our cloud advisors. We also have our library, as I mentioned earlier at the onset. Our AI landing zone is sort of a collation of everything we do, but you can also take a look specifically at blog posts, ebooks, white papers, and videos. And if you're in the Google environment, one of the options in the library is we've got Google Workspace Wednesday. It's a newsletter. We send out 3 to 5 feature updates or reminders that we think are relevant to our user community. It's a great way to stay on top of what's coming down the line and understanding what's new. On that note, we don't have anyone in the questions. This is a pretty straightforward one, I guess, Bill. So I do want to thank everyone for joining us here today and hope you have a great day and a great week. And thank you for taking the time out, and we'll see you next time.